You said we could do more of these behind the scenes interviews.
Do we have to do this right now?
You
Really?
promised.
Can I at least fix my hair, get dressed or something, finish eating?
You said
Okay.
behind the scenes authentic, so here we are.
Okay.
You
Yeah, I made you
promised.
a promise. Okay. Let's. Okay. What is it? Are you going to edit this?
That wouldn't be authentic.
All right. Okay. What?
Do I have the camera set up
It's a little bright.
right? What about
Uh,
the post I showed you
oh, that
last
was
night?
funny.
What do you think of that?
Yeah. Okay. So they don't, if you when you do this, they don't have any context.
Okay,
when
explain
you
it
just
to him
ask
then.
that. All right. My friend made a post. She created some, or has, I don't know, how many damn accounts do you have? You sketchy. But she's got maybe 3 accounts, I think. And one of her accounts she made, she said, asked a question, what do you think about Dolly Day, or something like that. And people go in there and they just talking smack, or, and then of course my friends are like, what, why are y'all saying ugly shit for no damn reason? I mean, and so I didn't know about it, and it was up for, I don't know, 10 days or so, and then she showed it to me, and I went through the comment section, and she said, what are you gonna do? I said, what the hell do you want me to do? I mean, you're the one who made the post. I don't know. And I said, well, it's great. Look, this friend and this friend, and I saw all my friends, not all my friends, but a handful of my friends saying nice things. She wanted to be honest. I said, it's nice to know. And but there was one lady who's always in my live wanting my attention and talking, and when we're not live shopping, but like if we're live gossiping, and she's very interested in being, in direct communication and stuff. But on that post, she said, I don't like any of her shop stuff. I would never buy anything, but I like her content. Well, that doesn't seem very supportive. I mean, she shouldn't have to buy anything. She doesn't have to, nobody needs to buy anything. But to stop and say ugly stuff, she was saying that the stuff that I sell is junk and she would never buy any, and just really going above and beyond to say ugly shit. And when she could have just went, I don't, I like her stuff. I mean, I like her content, but I don't shop on TikTok. That's fine. Absolutely fine. No big deal. But she didn't. She went the extra mile. So I blocked her. And my friend said, why did you block her? I said, she is of no use to me. Not because her friendship's not genuine. Because a friend of mine is going to go, that's not for me. Scroll on. Or a friend of mine is going to go, I don't ever buy anything online. If I don't buy it in person at a store, I don't buy it. And so they're also just going to scroll on by. And then my closer friends who like, that would not look good on me, or I don't wear makeup, or I don't wear, that would not look good in my house. They're going to put, oh, it's very pretty, or put a heart, or like the video, but not say anything negative. They're not going to say anything negative. Like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I mean, it's like, kind of like they used to say here on TikTok ages ago. They go, it's not an airport. You don't have to announce you're leaving, your departure, just leave, kind of thing. If it's not for you, you don't have to stop and say, oh, I think it's ugly. If it's ugly to you, that's fine. But you're not really insulting me when you say, oh, that's an ugly shirt, or that makeup is whatever, or that home decor item is homely. I would never have that in my house. You're not really insulting me. You're insulting the 1,700 people who bought that. Because you're telling them their taste is terrible. Do you get that? You're not insulting me. Like if I was offering, hey, y'all, this is the best little plastic ramekin cup, that portable, right here. There's a box of them, touch a tag. If I said that and there were other people who bought it because it was useful to them, you're not insulting me. You're insulting my 100 friends who bought the ramekin cup. And they don't see that. So this person who was in there saying ugly stuff like that, she's not insulting me. She's insulting my friends who also think that that ramekin cup is useful. So that's why I blocked her, because I don't need her in there making my friends feel bad by saying ugly shit. So
I don't think people realize who they're
Right.
insulting when they do that.
I don't know. I want to get dressed.
Okay, I
Do
got more questions.
Do we have to do this? Okay, I promised.
You promised.
Okay. Can I finish my salad?
No,
Can
this
we
is the only
pause?
10 minutes you're going to be sitting down. No. Tell us about your date last night.
I did go on a date yesterday. I went on a dinner date, and he was handsome and smart. And he told me that he was really concerned about social media, that he was a really private person. And I explained to him that, one, I would never put his name, address, or any identifying characters about him on there, and that I generally don't share too many good dating stories. One, I haven't had any. I haven't had very many. Let me take it back. I've had a couple, but I haven't had very many good dating stories. But his big concern was, how would my social media, he didn't want his life daily on there. I think that people misunderstand and him. So I was able to have a lengthy conversation with him, and he gets it. We are going on a second date. But
Second date?
a lot of people, the general public, don't understand that there's a lot more to my life than the 5 minutes of a video that you saw today. And
Mr.
Dookie
Duke.
Look, even Dookie's bored of this. He's over there snoring. I need to get dressed.
Just a few more minutes.
Dressed. Yes.
Because I know you got more to do. I know. I
Exactly.
understand.
Because right now it's I don't know, is it 2:30 in the afternoon? I went to work at 4:00 this morning. I worked until about 12:30. I come home, I stripped down, got into bed, took a power nap, called DoorDash, had some food delivered so I could eat it. Now I'm going to take another shower, second shower of the day. I'm going to get myself together, and I'm going to do TikTok shop, maybe a couple videos, or maybe TikTok. I think I'll do a TikTok live today. And then also maybe settle in my mind about my date yesterday, and maybe try and put together something about that, sharing, but not directly about him. And people misunderstand that. They think that I share everything, and I do share my dating experiences, but I never identify who they are for their privacy. They didn't join TikTok to share their life. I joined TikTok to share mine. So I don't identify who they are. And if any guy is ever offended by one of my videos, like, oh, she told about my date, the only way we'll know it's you and your date is because you identified yourself, because I've never ever identified anybody that way, and they're aware of that. I usually hold off on telling a date for a couple of weeks, make sure it's all settled, because if it did go wrong, I want to make sure there's not any follow-up wrong. Because men can be scary. I've been really fortunate that in person I haven't had any scary acting guys, but online there's a shit ton of creepy acting guys online on TikTok directly.
So will you tell us about your date last night?
Probably one of the little lessons that I learned in the date, I'll share that, but I won't share the date for a couple of weeks. But yeah, people think that they see everything about my life, and they don't, because a lot of people don't realize that I get up and go to work at 4:00 in the morning, get done sometimes give or take around noon. I come home, I shower, straighten myself up, and I work another 8 to 12 hours some days, and some days just get 2 to 3 hours sleep in that 24-hour window. So anyone who's kicking or knocking on my hustle, my is not a friend of mine. Just not. That's why
because a lot of people don't know that you've had to rebuild your life over the past 8 years, just from scratch, really, all the way over.
I have. It's taken a lot. It's a lot of work.
Well, thank you. Now I'll let you take your shower.